decided today to make a video on chicken soup. It's kind of cloudy day today and it's a good day for some soup. I'm making some cornbread. So cornbread and chicken soup for Portuguese, it's the ideal. So I'm gonna show you how I make my chicken soup, and I'll give you some tips how you can change it according to your taste and what would your family would like, or you can make it the same way and next time you make it different and your family will say, wow, this is a different chicken soup. It's the same chicken soup, you just changed some of the ingredients. So in this pot, I'm gonna put my bacon fat. Always have some bacon fat and some olive oil. I'd say about 2 teaspoons of olive oil and maybe 1 teaspoon of bacon fat. I'm gonna add my onion, chopped onion. And this is what I do for all my soups. Doesn't matter what kind of soup I'm making. And it always starts with sauteing onion and garlic. And sometimes, you know, depending on what it is, it changes as we go along. So I'm gonna put a little bit of, about a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And what it does, it helps the onion to soften. It draws some of the water. I have about 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic. Love a lot of garlic, so I'm gonna add that too with the onions and just kind of let this saute until it gets translucent. So growing up in the Azores, we had soup almost every day. My mom would let us make, because my mom worked out of the home. And us kids, the girls, would have to make dinner. So, and our dinner started always with soup and whatever was, we had it after. So we would have, and I know you Portuguese people sure know what I'm talking about, these big pots, cast iron pots that had the little legs, and you would put on top of this grated grill kind of thing and put the wood underneath. That's how I grew up cooking, was with the wood. And I mean, the pot would have been this big, and it would have been this. And we would make soup, and that soup would last us for the whole week. But my mom had, and sometimes it was on us, whatever soup you wanted to do. So, or whatever vegetables was in season, so we made soup. Didn't make very much chicken soup, which we would call canja, which was a soup that was made more with rice and then had chicken. That was a special days kind of soup, like Christmas or special event. We had this soup. We never made these kind of soups with chicken. It was more linguica or chorizo or something, or the bones. We would have bones from the pig. We would put those bones and kind of make soup with that. So, but anyway, here I have leftover from dinner last night, some chorizo and some linguica. So I'm gonna add that too. You don't have to. I just had leftovers. I'm trying to clean what leftovers I have, so it always gives a good flavor. So that's what I do. So add my chorizo and my linguica in there. And in here I have celery and carrots. I chopped them in not too small pieces, so I'm gonna add that too. And I'm gonna stir all this and let this sweat a little bit. And I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. You gotta season your food as you go along. Some people like to season all at the end. I find that at the end, some of the food is already cooked, so it won't make that much of a difference on the flavor. So it doesn't, I don't think it does much after. So that's why I like it. That's my way. Everybody's different. So I'm gonna let this kind of saute for a little bit, and then I'll come back. I'm gonna go get some chicken stock that I'm gonna add to it, and then I'm gonna add the rest of my ingredients. This is a very easy soup, and if you make this can last you in the fridge for 4 or 5 days, and it's delicious. So be right back. Okay, my friends, my onion, my garlic, linguica, celery, carrots is they're all a little bit soft. So I have here 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm gonna add that to it. And in here I have thyme, about a teaspoon of fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh, you can use the dry. Just use half of it because it's very strong when you do the fresh. And in here I have my Knorr, and I'm gonna put a tablespoon of it, and that's it. And now let that come to a simmer. I'm gonna add some water, probably about 4 cups. If you don't have chicken stock, you can use beef broth or even just water. We didn't have chicken stock when we were making soups, so we use water. In here I have kale and cabbage, and I didn't pick these. The ones in my garden are still not big enough, so I bought these in the store. You need to take this this little stalk because it's too strong, too hard. So, and you don't need to cut this in fine. Just chop in, and if you don't want to chop, you can just tear it. So I'm gonna add my cabbage and my kale. And if you don't want kale, you don't like kale, you can put spinach. You can put any other green, or you can leave it out. This is how I make my chicken soup. And not only is healthy, it's very filling. You eat a bowl of this and you're done. So that's why I need some of the water. And don't be alarmed because that will all shrink down. This will shrink. I don't know how to make small pots of soup. I've even tried to make in a small pot. It never happens. I always end up making a big pot of soup. So I'll give it to my friends, or I share with my family, but don't know. Even if I put just 1 potato, 1 carrot, by the time I go, the pot is full. So anyway, so this is gonna sit here until this wilt is down. All this goes down. And then I have potatoes. I'm gonna add some potatoes. This is golden potatoes. And if you've seen some of my videos, you know is more of a firm potato when it comes to soups and stews, and because it holds its shape. It doesn't disappear, versus the other potatoes, the Idaho potatoes. It's good for mashed potatoes and things like that. Even though I make mashed potatoes with these, and they're farm, and they're kind of not too small, you know, a good size. I try to cut all the vegetables kind of the same size so they all cook at the same time. So, but anyway, I'll be back. I'll put the potatoes and then I'll show you what comes next. Okay, so I'm gonna add the chicken. I buy rotisserie chicken from Costco, and I don't have to be bothered with cooking chicken, so that's what you need to do. You add your chicken. I shredded all the chicken. And you stir this good. I also like to add beans. I like the white beans. I washed them and rinsed them good, so I'm gonna add this. So now you know what I'm talking about when I say you eat a bowl of this soup, you don't want nothing else. So this is where now I'm gonna show you, you can change, your diversity can change. So let's say you make this soup today and you can zest some lemon into it, which is what I'm gonna do to this one. I love lemon in the soup because it brightens everything. It's so good and it's so healthy because you have all that lemon. So you make this with lemon today. So next time you can make the same exact soup, and instead of adding lemon, you can add pesto. You buy this pesto from Costco. See, basil pesto. You put a teaspoon or 2 tablespoons of it. I would say 2 tablespoons. Put it in there, mix it, serve it with some crusty bread, put some Parmesan cheese, and here you have a whole different soup. Can switch the vegetables. If you don't want some of these vegetables, you can put some cauliflower, very good and healthy. So anyway, so I zest 1 lemon and I put it in there, and I'm gonna put the juice too. I like to put the juice of the lemon too. It kind of gives a little tarty. It's very good. Also done the same exact soup. Add all this. You want to make it a little bit more rich? Add a little bit of cream. It kind of makes a white soup. And that's what I mean, is your family says, oh, I really like that soup you made, you know, that time. And it's the same soup. It's just a couple ingredients different. And there's no name for, they want a completely different name. It's not. It's chicken soup. It's the same exact chicken soup. But you add a little bit of, at the end, a different ingredient, and that's it. So we're having cornbread, so I figured this would be kind of a lighter soup to eat with cornbread. So I'm gonna I'm gonna lower this, I'm gonna cover, and then what I'll do at the end, I have some macaroni. I don't know, maybe there's 2 cups in here. I'm gonna dump this in there. And you got everything. You got your vegetables, you got your potatoes, you got your starch. And for those who are gluten-free, this is what I do. You do exactly the same thing. Some of that Knorr, I wouldn't put it because it might have certain ingredients, so I would eliminate that. And then just add pasta, gluten-free pasta. That's what I do for my son. My son is gluten-free. So just put that in. Here you have a good meal, healthy, and in just less than an hour, and it can last you for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna let this simmer here maybe another 20 minutes, and for all those flavors to develop, and then I'll come back, I'll pour the pasta, I'll come back and I'll show you the final product. Here we are at the end of my soup that I made today, my chicken soup. It's done, and I'm gonna have it for lunch, my chicken soup. And then my cornbread. Here's my cornbread. Has a nice crust at the bottom. And I'm gonna have that with my soup. And then I also have here already all my tubs ready for my friends. So I told you, I never make a soup just for me. I always make soup to share with the whole world pretty much. But anyway, so this is what I'm gonna have for my lunch. An easy chicken soup with cornbread. Another favorite way for me to eat my that cornbread is with milk. That was one way we as kids used to eat it. When it's hot, you cut it into little chunks, put it in a bowl, put it with some milk. Oh, it's delicious. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video with my chicken soup and my cornbread, and I hope you make it and you find that it's easy and adapt it to your own. I mean, recipes were meant to be broken. You can change some of the ingredients, the vegetables if you don't like, and add the vegetables you want or that your family likes. So until next time, have a good day.